Today we will show you how to service the wearable components for the 16K Reese Revolution pin box using the 16K Reese Revolution Service Kit, part number 86016. For a complete list of compatible part numbers, as well as a complete full-color step-by-step instruction sheet for this installation, visit reeseproducts.com. To prepare for and ensure a quick and quality installation, check all the parts against the parts list included with the 16K Reese Revolution Service Kit's instructions. This will also help familiarize yourself with all the parts in the kit. During this installation, we will be using the following tools. For this service kit installation, the 16K Reese Revolution pin box will need to be removed from the trailer. Be sure to make note of the bolt location of the pin box in relation to the fifth wheel trailer wings before removing. To begin, place the Reese Revolution unit on a bench or a table and turn it on its side. For this demonstration, we will start by replacing the fastening hardware for the Revolution's wedge. A trick to keeping the Revolution's current wedge alignment, which needs to have been previously fitted to your fifth wheel hitch in your towing setup, is to replace one fastening bolt at a time. First, loosen and remove the most rearward wedge bolt, and replace using one of the provided 5/8 grade 5 hex bolt with nylon and conical washer. Be sure to place the dome side or top of the conical washer against the head of the bolt when installing to the wedge. Snugly tighten the newly replaced bolt so that it holds the wedge against the bottom of the Revolution arm. Once tightened, move to the forward wedge bolt and remove. Install the other provided 5/8 grade 5 wedge bolt with nylon and conical washer. Using a torque wrench, torque both newly replaced wedge bolts to 150 foot-pounds. A thin-walled socket may be necessary when tightening the bolts. We are now finished servicing the Reese Revolution wedge. Keeping the Reese Revolution unit on its side, we will now remove the upper turret assembly from the Revolution arm. To do this, remove the cotter pin from the castle hex nut using a pair of needle nose pliers. Then loosen and remove the castle nut from the bottom of the Revolution turret pivot shaft. Once the castle nut has been removed, turn the Revolution unit upright, and using some force and possibly rotating of the turret, remove the turret from the Revolution arm. Once the turret is off, remove the wear plate from the Revolution arm. Turn the Revolution arm back on its side, and you should notice that the bearing cone, bearing cup, and shaft washer have fallen out of the bottom of the cylinder. If all three pieces have not dropped from the cylinder, use some light force to push them out. Next, you will need to remove the pivot bushing from the inside of the pivot cylinder located on the Revolution's arm. Using a rubber mallet with a screwdriver, lightly tap around the edge of the pivot bushing to push it out, taking care not to mar or damage the inside of the arm cylinder. Once enough clearance has been created, you can easily grab the pivot bushing to pull it out the rest of the way. After the pivot bushing has been removed, turn the Revolution arm back upright and wipe away any debris from the inside of the arm cylinder. Next, insert the new pivot bushing provided in the kit. Do this by placing the bushing over the top of the arm cylinder opening and using a rubber mallet, tap around its top edge to push it in. Continue to tap around the top of the pivot bushing until its top is flush with the top edge of the arm cylinder opening. Next, wipe away any debris from the top of the arm surface. Then place the new wear plate provided in the kit onto the Revolution's arm so that the hole in the wear plate lines up with the pivot cylinder hole. When placed correctly, the edge of the hole on the wear plate should line up directly over the Revolution arm cylinder. If the holes do not align, turn the wear plate and place until they do. Once in place, apply the provided lube from the kit to the inside of the bushing and the top surface of the wear plate. We will now install the Reese Revolution turret back onto the arm. Place the turret pivot shaft over the Revolution arm cylinder hole and seat until the bottom of the turret assembly lays flat against the newly installed wear plate. Rotating or twisting may help in doing this. After the turret is completely seated, position the turret straight in line with the arm. Turn the Revolution unit back on its side, making sure the position of the turret stays in line with the arm. Then install the bearing cup provided in the kit by inserting it into the pivot cylinder and around the turret's pivot shaft on the underside of the Revolution's arm. Make sure the beveled, thin edge of the bearing cup faces outward to ensure it seats correctly in the unit when inserting. Next, apply the provided lube from the kit to the newly provided bearing cone. Once applied, insert the bearing cone into the pivot cylinder and around the turret's pivot shaft so it seats against the bearing cup that was installed earlier. With both the bearing cup and bearing cone in place, reinstall the shaft washer that was removed earlier in the installation. Finally, reinstall the castle nut over the turret's pivot shaft and snugly tighten. Using the torque wrench, torque the castle hex nut to 80 foot-pounds and reinstall the cotter pin. You are now ready to reinstall the 16K Reese Revolution pin box back onto your fifth wheel trailer. Be sure to follow your original Reese Revolution installation instructions. For a complete, full-color step-by-step instruction sheet for this installation, visit reeseproducts.com. That wraps up the installation of the 16K Reese Revolution Service Kit, part number 86016. For more information on this service kit and other great products from Reese, visit reeseproducts.com. Reese, pioneering performance.